the 2025 Dracula, a love story movie. It already premiered in France this past summer, and it's slated to make its US theater debut soon, I think within the next month or so, probably around Valentine's Day if they're smart about it. So if you read the classic Bram Stoker novel, you're already familiar with the story, but if you're not familiar with the novel, then you might be more familiar with the Dracula story from the 1992 movie. Bram Stoker's Dracula is with Winona Ryder and Keanu Reeves and a whole bunch of other people. So in the 1992 adaptation of Dracula, they gave an origin background of Dracula, this Romanian prince named Vlad, and he's married to this woman named Elisabetta. And Elisabetta commits suicide, and because she commits suicide is against, the church's beliefs and whatever, and she's damned to hell. Vlad, Prince Vlad, he curses God, and he in turn is cursed by God into being a vampire. And in the 1992 adaptation is basically like he is traveling around 400 years looking for the reincarnation of his beloved wife, Elisabetta. And that's when he sees Mina. Anyway, long story short, Dracula dies in Mina's arms. I like to think of myself as like a film critic, if you will. I'm not, but I like to think of myself as one. Well, anyway, so if you're into movies like that, then you have already known about the 1992 Coppola adaptation of Dracula. So this time it's starring the guy from The Matrix, the French guy. He was also in Inglourious Bastard. So if you're already familiar with the 1992 Coppola adaptation of Dracula, you might feel like, well, do I really want to see this? Now, I had that same consensus with a lot of the movies. The plot from the 1992 movie was actually an original plot. That is not a part of the novel. In the novel, there's no Elisabetta and, damning of God and curse to being a vampire and all of that. There's none of that. So at first I was like, do I really want to see this? Because it's kind of like if you watch Armageddon, you're not really going to want to watch Deep Impact. But if you saw Deep Impact, which came out first, then you're kind of like, okay, Armageddon, we already saw this with Deep Impact, but I digress. So they're basing it on this Romanian prince, Vlad. I think he was called like Vlad the Impaler or some shit. But if you are a history buff like that, which I am also, so Vlad was a prince in what is like modern day Romania, and, was around the time of the Ottoman Empire with the Turkish, and his father belonged to an aristocratic order named, Order of the Dragons. And it was basically around the time of the Crusades and whatever nobility was given out. But it seems to be going with that angle of Elisabetta, which is wild to me. So let me know if you're interested in it and what do you think